Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch, February 22nd edition here, taking a look at the infrared satellite imagery, and you can see the cold Arctic air spreading off the coast of British Columbia, Washington, down into Oregon, California. It's already spreading across Pacific Ocean here. First wave of cold air has arrived here, brought some strong winds across the area, and we're going to develop this low pressure center here off the coast of Oregon. This is going to slide down across California across the next few days here, and this is going to bring some crazy weather across the state here. Big mountain snows, big valley rains, some more strong winds, and we'll take a look at some of the conditions expected here just in a moment. Taking a look at the current hazards. Look at this, folks, across the Southern California mountains. Blizzard warning, at least the first one since 2006 down there. Just some incredible winds coming with some really heavy snowfall, especially across the higher terrain. Fluctuating snow levels. We got wind advisories. We got freeze warnings. We got winter storm warnings, winter storm watches, high wind warnings. We got everything out here across the state going on today, including the chance for some thunderstorms over the next several days as well. This is looking at day 1 through 3, overall winter storm impacts, and you can see the purple here, potential extreme impacts across some of the areas of Southern California, the higher terrain, Sierra Nevada, even some of the coastal range here up towards the Bay Area, Northern California, and it could snow all the way out to the coastline up here across portions north of the Bay Area here, including Crescent City out there, and it's not going to take much elevation at all to get some disruptive snowfall here across much of the state. Taking a look here, this is a wider look at the west coast, North America, Washington, Oregon, California. This is 850 millibars, 5,000 feet. Check out that ridge out there across Pacific Ocean, allowing this cold air to dive down across the region here. Now, this is the next big weather maker here, is this low pressure system forming on the leading edge of this Arctic air here, and this is eventually going to slowly meander its way down the coastline here, bringing very strong winds, big mountain snows, rainfall, thunderstorms across the state. This would be shown Saturday morning here, and you can see that low pressure center still spinning right here off the central California coastline as we go on in through Saturday. Now into Sunday morning here, upper level low right over the top of Southern California there. Additional frontal systems coming in here. 1, 2, 3 punches here as you go on in through early next week. So we'll take a look at those details here a little bit more coming up. This is the NAM 12 kilometer. This is this morning's run. You can see the very cold air aloft across the state of California here, just continuing to exist here as we go on in through Friday morning. That additional low up here is powering this next mid-latitude cyclone spawned by some Arctic air here, going to continue to roam around Southern California all the way on in through Sunday. Look at that powerful polar lobe there. Now, this is looking at 700 millibars, 10,000 feet here. This is last night's European run. You can clearly see this very cold air engulfed the entire west coast of North America here, and then you get some additional cyclogenesis here. So this bowling ball just rolls down the coast of California here and just hangs out across in through Wednesday, shown there. And then additional systems are going to arrive on in through early and mid next week as well. More on that here in a moment. Now taking a look at last night's European, and this is going to go out 10 days here. So you can see that initial shot of cold air all the way down across Southern California here. That low pressure system hanging up across northwest Oregon helped bring some measurable snowfall across the Puget Sound here. And this is going to continue to bring some across the Willamette Valley here. And eventually this is going to cartwheel down the California coastline here. Look at this. These snowfall totals are probably uptrending here across some of the Northern California higher terrain here as well. And then you're going to start to bring these blizzard conditions across some of the higher terrain down through California on the day Wednesday. Strong winds, huge mountain snow, fluctuating snow levels here, and you can see it's taking its sweet time here, bringing some pretty heavy precipitation across the areas. We'll look at see what kind of snow totals and what kind of rainfall totals for the lower elevations we can expect here coming up. Upper level low finally getting out of there by the time you go on into Sunday here, but then on the heels of that, another frontal system coming through Sunday through Northern California. Another round of snow for the Sierras. Doesn't impact Southern California as much, but then a stronger frontal system comes through as you go through Monday, Tuesday. That'll stretch down towards Southern California here as you go on in through next Wednesday, shown there. I mean, just multiple rounds of active weather here going through Southern California and much of the west coast of North America, and then we'll see what comes after that. We'll worry about that as it comes. Taking a look here, surface-based CAPE, the NAM 3KM high-resolution model here. CAPE is convective available potential energy. It's just kind of giving you an idea of the energy in the atmosphere to power thunderstorms. And you can see this cold air moving down. And as we go into the afternoon hours of today, you'll see that CAPE build. Then weighing a bit here, Thursday, same thing. Then you see the upper level low out here, now spinning down the coast of Northern California by the time we get into Friday here, continuing to bring the chance of thunderstorms across some of the Bay Area, even Southern California here. And this is going to be powering some strong precipitation rates here as we go on in through Friday as well. But yeah, thunderstorm potential here does exist all the way on in through at least Saturday here with that upper level low, probably on into Sunday, even Monday as well. But now looking at the European, actually let's back that up. This is last night's run here. This is total precipitation in inches, and you can see that first shot that moved down through yesterday. Now we bring this additional low pressure system we've been talking about for several days now. Look at these huge precipitation amounts across the Sierra and some of the higher terrain here. A lot of this is going to follow snowfall as well. Big rains across San Diego through the Los Angeles metro here as you go on in through Saturday night as well. And then additional systems continue to roll across the state. Some really big precipitation totals showing up here, up towards 9+ inches here as you go on in through Thursday morning of next week here, with the potential for even some more coming on in through the extended forecast and through early March as well. But again, we'll worry about that as we get closer to it. This is looking at total snow, 10-to-1 ratio here. Last night's European run, 06Z equals 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now as we roll through this, you see, as we go on into very early Friday morning, these totals really start to creep up here across some of the California mountains here, Southern California, I should say, near the Los Angeles metro. Huge totals here, measured in feet potentially here as we go on in through Saturday morning. Look at some of these snowfall totals. Man, that is going to be intense out there with the big winds going on, blizzard conditions, a first blizzard warning since at least 2006 there for the Southern California mountains. Now this is looking at winds. So right now this is last night's European. This is 100-meter wind speed here. You can see Los Angeles metros here, San Diego, Mexico down there. Speed ahead a bit here, and you'll see this next frontal system start to roll through on Friday, and you can see that powerful front moving across the area there. It's actually going to raise snow levels across the mountains here, but still above 3,500 feet. Across the region there, you're probably going to get some pretty big snowfall measured in the amount of feet here, but another round of strong winds across the Los Angeles metro through San Diego as you go on in through Friday night, Saturday morning as well. Then you can see that upper level low kind of right over the top of Los Angeles in the Southern California area as you go on in through Saturday afternoon. Max 10-meter wind gust here, speeding ahead here. You can see the big winds across the mountain areas there. Gusts up over 75 miles per hour possible for some locations in the higher terrain. This is looking at the entire state here. Last night's run, total snow, Kuchera ratio in inches. This goes out 10 days. Big snowfall coming goes without saying across the Sierra Nevada, of course, Southern California mountains. Again, sound like a broken record here over the last few days, but you can see these additional systems really piling up the snowfall across the Sierra Nevada, even across Nevada, Utah, northern Arizona there on in through Colorado as well. But look at that 10-day period. Some totals could be up over 100 inches here, folks, and you could even see some snowfall, like I mentioned, all the way out to the coastline. If you missed me saying that the first part of the video here today, even down towards Crescent City, for example, and it's not going to take much elevation at all to get into some disruptive snowfall here across Northern California. So heads up for that. And you can see the coastal range again, winter weather advisories in effect down there, Bay Area, across some of the areas south of that, the higher terrain as well, including the hills just outside of Big Sur down there. Now this is looking at 2-meter temperature. Last night's European run put it into motion. A lot of cold air already over the state, but you can actually visualize this low pressure system that starts to move down on Thursday here off the coastline now, and you can see it pinwheeling down the coast, and you can see that frontal system is going to be moving through on Friday, bringing those blizzard conditions across Southern California, the higher terrain there. Some warm air getting up in there is going to raise the snow level, but it's going to be quite dramatic here as you go up into the higher terrain, and then you'll see the upper level low come across the state here. Very chilly temperatures as you go on in through Saturday and Sunday coming up, and then additional systems after that. I've said that several times now. This is Los Angeles International Airport. By the time you get into Friday night, Saturday morning, expect those big precipitation totals. Good agreement through the European ensemble runs here. And let's go over that really quickly here. So if you see all these runs over here, we have 50 different ensemble runs of the European model. Each one of these ensemble runs has the initial conditions as we believe them to be currently to be tweaked a little bit, then we let the model run out. And it kind of gives you a good idea of what you can expect. If you change the initial conditions, you're going to get different results as you go on in through the extended portion of the forecast here. So that kind of gives us an idea of what we can expect, but you can see when you have good model agreement between all the ensembles, it gives you increased confidence in your forecast. This is the control run at the bottom. This is a lower resolution version of the initial conditions as we believe them to be. We also run a different one called the deterministic with a higher resolution version of the control run there, but that's what that control run at the very bottom is. It's the initial conditions unchanged as what we best believe them to be at this point. And these individual runs here, 1 through 50, have their initial conditions changed somewhat here. I had a few questions about that recently, so I thought I'd go over that. Now, this is looking at a mammoth out there. Big snow totals coming up as we go on into Saturday morning. This is for Acada up there, Northern California. Look at that, up over a foot possible, especially get off into the higher terrain out there as well. Big Bear, big snowfalls coming up here as well. Some of the places are going to get up towards 3-4 feet of snow across some of the higher terrain of the Southern California mountains. Redding could get snowfall as well. Heads up for that coming on in through Thursday night in through Friday morning during the day Friday. And this is also looking at significant wave height. I'll show you this. As these storm systems roll down, you can see that upper level low kind of spinning here. And then the additional frontal system is going to bring increased wave activity as we go on in through early and mid next week coming up there. So as these storms roll in, the wave activity will increase with each one of them. This is looking at 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. This goes through March 3rd here, below average. Big bullseye here across the state of California. 6 to 10 day big bullseye here, of course, as well. And now this is looking at kind of a roundup here, some of the National Weather Service graphics here. This is, I believe, San Diego. Yes, you can see as you go on in through Friday, the heavier snow starts to show up for the higher terrain here, the San Bernardino Mountains, Riverside County Mountains out there, San Diego County Mountains as well. This is for mountain travel forecast. This is only through Thursday morning here, so you can see some snow already coming for the Southern California mountains as you go here. Crashing snow levels, but they're going to bounce back up again here by the time you go on through Friday, 3,500, 4,500 feet here. But the snow potential is going to be huge above 3,500 feet coming up. Now, looking at high temperature departure from normal, this is for today. Check it out across some of the higher terrain in the deserts, well below normal here with this very cold air across the state. And this is for the very dangerous marine conditions here. Los Angeles National Weather Service, look at some of these winds gusting well up into the mid 40 knot range here. Steep seas out there and dangerous conditions capable of capsizing vessels. So heads up, pay attention to your local alerts out there. This is round 1, snowfall today, tonight. And you can see this does include some areas of the higher terrain here right around the immediate Bay Area. And of course, the Sierra Nevada goes without saying it's going to get big snowfall amounts here too. But look at some of the terrain around Big Sur up there, 12 plus inches possible. This is the winter weather advisory, just kind of giving you an idea where these exist here across the region. Elevations generally 2,000 plus for those areas. Now, this is looking at yesterday's wind speeds. Some of the Bay Area, just really some significant tree damage out there. And you can see these big winds. Once you start getting up 45 plus miles per hour, the wind damage really increases here. 60 plus can really bring down some big, healthy trees, actually. And you can see the widespread nature of these winds as that cold front came down. This is looking at thunderstorm potential here, just kind of showing you the National Weather Service is homing on these thunderstorm chances as well. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way down through Southern California. It's probably going to exist all the way in through Sunday. This is looking at the probability of 4 plus inches of snow here. Eureka, California could actually be seeing some snowfall as well. This is 4 plus inches here, folks. This is not 1 inch or more. So this is significant heavy snowfall here. And again, any elevation you get up here in Northern California, you're really going to be in some disruptive snowfall as you go on in through Thursday. So yeah, interesting times coming up here, folks. What a winter for California here. It just continues. It's going to continue. We're going to get additional strong frontal systems going on in through next week as well. So heads up for that. Hope you guys are enjoying it. You know, finally some weather down here to watch across the state of California here. And it's translating across some places of the west too. And there's a big snowstorm going to be coming here on across the plains and off across the northern states of the USA here as well over the next couple of days. So pretty fun winter here coming up. There's some severe weather that's going to emerge on in through this weekend across some of the Great Plains out there too. Maybe I'll take a look at that in some upcoming days here. But anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd go over these briefings here. As long as weather is active in California, I'll continue to cover the area down there. I love doing it. Love to see the comments, positive comments usually coming in here on the page here. Click like, subscribe, you know, tell your friends and family, and we'll do this again tomorrow and see what's coming.